The first of only 3 Colorado Senate debates will go on as scheduled tonight, despite the fact that Senator Cory Gardner was asked by Democratic Senator Chuck Schumer to quarantine.
Gardner and Hickenlooper face off in about 30 minutes in Pueblo. Our political specialist Sean Boyd talked to CBS 4's analyst yesterday before all of this about what to expect tonight.
Well, it's hard to imagine any debate being as chaotic as the presidential one earlier this week. But the debate between incumbent Senator Cory Gardner and Democratic challenger John Hickenlooper should be lively. Their first head-to-head is happening tonight in Pueblo. And here to talk about what we can expect are analysts, Republican Dick Bottoms, Democrat Mike Dino. Good to see you guys as always. Dick, I'm going to start with you this time. How combative do you expect this to get?
Oh, I don't know, Sean. It will. Listen, it's a U.S. Senate debate, and so it will get combative. You've got a very powerful debater in Cory Gardner. I think he's probably one of the best we've ever had on the Republican side. Meanwhile, and to be charitable, I don't think Hickenlooper's in Cory's league. But the fact is, Cory is a very aggressive debater, and I think he will do a good job pointing out what he's done for Colorado in terms of the Space Command, the Arkansas Valley Conduit right there in southern Colorado, and all the things Cory has accomplished. And also that Cory is regarded as one of the most bipartisan members of the Senate. Meanwhile, I think that Cory will hold Hickenlooper accountable for his wonderful statement that I wouldn't be a good senator. And I think there will be a lot of things that Cory will bring up. The press is there to protect him and all the things that we've seen during this comedy of a campaign by Hickenlooper the last several months.
Mike, what issues do you think are going to dominate this debate?
Well, number one, they got to be kind to the moderator. I think the presidential race is setting the tone for this debate in some ways. I'm not sure it'll be as combative as maybe others expect it to be, but I think that the biggest problem that not only Senator Gardner has, but all of the Republican candidates across this country have is the way President Trump acted the other night. And the fact that he still hasn't disavowed the white supremacists and he's rallied the Proud Boys. This is something that just, I don't know how much President Trump weighs, but poor Senator Gardner's been carrying him on his back this whole campaign. And that's the problem. I mean, Dick brings up good points, certainly some good points about the strengths of Senator Gardner and some of the weaknesses of Governor Hickenlooper. But boy, having Trump as your president and leader of your party, that's a huge problem.
So, it's being live streamed, so I'm not sure how many people will watch. Do you think it's going to make much of an impact on this race, Dick, Mike?
No. I mean, it's being live streamed. It's Friday night. It's going to be a nice night. People are going to be outside. Unfortunately, it's not going to have a lot of visibility. I don't see this as a game changer. And all these millions of dollars worth of ads, supporting candidates and bringing them down and being negative on their record that's still going to dominate. Maybe we'll see a change when we see some television debates, but this one's going to be a hard one to register.
Dick, a lot of pollsters have moved this race to lean Democrat. So what does Senator Gardner need to do to change the direction of this?
Well, actually, we really haven't seen a lot of polls recently. The last one had Cory down only by 5. That was the AARP poll done by Republican and Democrat pollsters. Listen, I think this is still in the game for Cory. Listen, I'm not going to disagree with Mike on the Trump factor. It is a big one in this race, and that ultimately could pull Cory down, which is really too bad because I think he's an outstanding candidate, has run an outstanding campaign. It is interesting to me in terms of negative ads, that solemn and very self-righteous promise that John Hickenlooper made 10 years ago or longer, that he would never run a negative ad, and now he's running a succession of them against Cory. That also tells me that the Hickenlooper campaign might not be as comfortable with the numbers as you might think.
All right. This Debate begins at 7 o'clock, so I better let you guys go. Want to let our viewers know it's going to be live streamed by the Pueblo Chieftain. And if you want to hear what Dick and Mike had to say about the presidential debate, we've got that on CBSDenver.com. And I will have a wrap-up of the Senate debate at 10.